Hello and welcome to this very special interview edition of the Irish Wrestling Podcast. My name is Mark O'Brien, and today I've been joined by something incredibly special to all of us here in this country. I'm joined by not only the pride of Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, he's also the pride of Monkstown, County Dublin, Ireland. JD McDonagh, thank you very much for joining me today. How are you keeping, my friend?
What a lovely intro. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that, mate.
Listen, we're chatting here today ahead of WWE's tour of obviously UK and Ireland. We're also chatting ahead of OTT's 10th anniversary show at the end of this month. How excited are you to kind of come back over to these shores representing yourself, the Judgment Day, and WWE brand back here in Dublin for your home audience?
Man, it's absolutely beyond belief. It's huge, you know. The next couple of months are just something like 14-year-old me couldn't have written it any better, you know.
Yeah.
Returning to the homeland with Finn for OTT, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, like, I don't know if you got eyes on the viral videos that went down when your intro package popped up in the National Stadium. The Judgment Day music pops up, then all you can hear is this mixture of a Bray accent, a South Dublin accent, suddenly come up, all rise for the Judgment Day, and everybody in the room, like 2,500 people, losing their mind.
Through grit, determination, and heart, these men and women have left it all on our canvas to get us to where we are today. But soon, they will meet their Judgment Day.
The fact that there's a WWE co-branded show with OTT in Ireland is absolutely huge, and to have the inaugural champion coming back, it's absolutely massive for all of us fans as well.
Yeah, and listen, that's a testament to Joe Cabray and the OTT crew as well for building up the product to the point where it's even a possibility, you know?
Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, looking forward to coming back and rocking the National Stadium one more time.
yeah, Joe's doing absolutely Trojan work at the minute. I don't know if you're keeping up with the product. Like obviously you're WWE Tag Team Champion. You're coming back with your longtime partner, mentor, Finn Balor. At the moment we've got two incredible tag team champions, the Matthew Bullet Smith, Sean Max McGuinness, you know very well from your time in 0-1 Japan, obviously training here in Ireland as well. Is there any chance we can see these two teams interacting or possibly even a match here in Ireland?
I'd leave that up to Joe. I have no idea. I'm coming in blind at the minute. I don't know what we're doing. I think the stories there with Max are obviously being an ex tag partner of mine, and the two of us being trained from a very young age by Finn. Matthew Smith, I've seen a good bit of, and he looks like he's decent, so that could be a good matchup. Yeah.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, listen, Joker Bray is obviously famed for his communication skills and letting people know what they're doing ahead of time as well. So yeah, no, listen, I'm hugely excited for. We'll be there covering as well. We'll also be there at the WWE events. But like obviously you've some people would view it as an overnight success, but those of us who've been following your career, it's a 20-year odyssey. So you've been trained from Fight Factory in Bray, working all the way through all Irish independence, doing all the kind of the feshes around the country. Obviously working across the UK, be it ICW Progress, over to Japan, Big Japan, and whatnot. Then NXT UK, where you've had amazing moments where you're facing the likes of Finn Balor on your NXT Takeover debut. What's like this whole journey as an odyssey been like on your end, coming from Bray County Wicklow, Ireland, training while you're still in school, to now being on Monday Night Raw as one of the focal points of a program weekly?
Well, when I set out on this 20-year odyssey, as you said, when I was 12, I didn't really I hadn't planned
Mm.
on much long term. I just wanted to get better every training session, every match. I wanted to be better than the last match. And I just kind of had faith that if I did that and kept after it with that kind of attitude, that I would get to where I wanted to be. And all I could do was make sure that I didn't give up in the meantime. You know, I would just plug away at this as long as it took to get where I needed to be. And it took me 22 years. But you know, if I had given up at 18 years, we wouldn't be doing this interview, and probably nobody would really know my name outside Europe. You know.
Yeah, so it's like Adam, you keep plugging away at it, the more you put your head down, keep working, the more things kind of work out in your favor, regardless of how long it takes. I firmly believe like hard work does pay off. Now listen, at 12 years old, I probably had the same notions of wanting to become a wrestler as you. My parents probably wouldn't have allowed me from this part of the world anyway. I was sent to rugby school instead. But yeah, listen, you obviously had a huge success. Something that kind of came up on social media recently is it's actually a cool story. Cody Rhodes is a podcast. He does his "What Do You Want to Talk About" podcast. For those of us
Oh
who
God.
know who knows, sorry, I'm friends with Niall Fox, and he's bringing this up with me recently. Um, your crowning moment, one of your crowning moments over in OTT is obviously when you became OTT champion. And one of your times you became OTT champion, defeating Mark Haskins in the main event. Now, the show was branded Being the Elite, and back in 2017, pre-COVID, whatever. Cody and the guys come over, they do their kind of independent shtick, they're 20 minutes overtime and whatnot. And a lot of the guys, um, people in the arena obviously have to go get the bus home or whatnot. In his podcast, he talked about how guilty he felt and like, listen, there's been something hanging over his head and he does owe you one. Have you managed to kind of catch up with him in Men Bridges ever since then with him?
I have, yeah. I did my first day on Raw. We met up and we squashed the beef, the
Yeah,
years long beef. No, I'd gotten over it by that stage, of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
Water under the bridge. But now Cody is a class act. You know, I wasn't even sure he would remember who I was by the time I got to Raw. But he made a beeline for me and let me know that he was sorry about it. And I said to him, "Look, one day you're going to lose that title. You can put me over there."
amazing, amazing. Look, this I vividly remember meeting you. Right, I was in school with your cousin, Paul, and I was at Club 92. It must have been Stephen's Day 2017 or something, just after that. And I remember wrestling is one of those things where you don't necessarily have everybody to talk to about it. I recognized you. I was like, come here, listen, we're obviously a few Jaeger bombs deep or whatever. I remember chatting to you about it and how fuming you were. So to seeing that kind of pop up on a podcast, a mainstream American audience, you getting that shout out is really, really cool. For a lot of us back in this part of the world who knew the story and whatnot at the time. So I suppose, listen, you've got NXT, or sorry, you've got the WWE coming back to the Ireland tour, coming hitting Cardiff, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester in October, and then we're coming to Dublin, 3rd of November, Manchester, Nottingham, Sheffield. What can Irish fans expect on the WWE production scale?
Well, from my perspective, everywhere we've been this year has been absolutely crazy. We've been sold out to the rafters on live events. We've had TV sellouts every other week. The fans have been more energetic and more invested in the product than I've ever seen. It's a real purple patch for WWE. And with the roster that we have assembled now, I think it's the best in-ring product WWE's been putting out ever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a perfect storm. We're building a lot of momentum. It feels like we're catching a wave as a company. It's the hottest ticket in town. So I'm my only regret is that it's a SmackDown branded tour. So I don't think I'm going to make the Dublin leg this time. They're making me wait for it, but I'm sure it'll come for me eventually. But it'll be a great show regardless on November 3rd.
Yeah, listen, good things come to those who wait. And like before you go, pre-COVID, WWE were due to have a NXT takeover here in the Three Arena for NXT UK. WWE have done shows in Scotland, Wales, England, France. It feels like it's only a matter of time. Are there any internal discussions on your end that you're aware of, possibly a takeover or a premium live event coming to WWE, or coming to Irish shores rather, representing WWE anytime soon?
Any chance I get, I bring it up. And we've had a few great crowds this year in WWE in France, and there was Puerto Rico a couple of years back that was crazy, and Germany this year was pretty wild. But any chance I get, I say, well, if you want a good crowd, the Irish fans are pretty insane. So we're trying to get it going. I know there's a few Irish on the Raw roster right now. There's never been as much Irish representation in WWE. So I think if we get our ducks in a line, maybe something good could happen in the next couple of years. Who knows? But
Yeah.
that Dublin needs to make a play for WWE these days. You know, as I said, we're the biggest ticket in town. You know, we're like an attraction now coming to your city. So hopefully the right people can get talking to WWE and make it happen.
Yeah, listen, it almost feels like a process of elimination at this point before something comes over. And again, if it does come over, given the amount of Irish representation across the Raw brand, obviously Becky Lynch is taking a step away as well. There's a huge amount of scope for Irish exposure and kind of driving ticket sales and whatnot. So hopefully it happens before sooner rather than later. Listen, JD, I want to thank you so much for your time. I'm hugely excited for your appearance at OTT at the end of this month, and hopefully catch you on one of the UK legs then if you're not making the Irish tour in November. Thank you very much for your time and wishing the very, very best for the future.
Thanks very much, Mark. Looking forward to seeing everybody at home, October 26th in the National Stadium.